Greetings everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. On this video I want to take a look at the solo catalog of the one and only, the legendary Phil Collins. So I want to go ahead and rank his 7 studio albums. I am not going to be counting the covers album he did in 2010 going back, nor am I going to be including either of the Disney soundtracks he did, just his main 7 studio albums. So my quick history with Phil Collins: I don't really remember the first time I ever heard of him. I just always remember having a kind of a vague idea who he was. I think my first major exposure to him was actually that South Park episode back in the 2000s, the one where all the kids got prescribed Ritalin and they all became Phil Collins fans. That was actually a funny episode. But I knew who Phil was in that episode, but I guess I didn't realize at the time that I would actually wind up becoming a big Phil Collins fan myself. But as I got exposed to more of his music, especially like when I got into the workforce and started working at my job years and years ago, Phil Collins would come on the radio all the time. And every time that he did, I just found myself really, really enjoying the music. And eventually I began collecting the albums. So this is my countdown from my least favorite to my favorite of Phil's studio albums, starting with my number 7 pick. In the number 7 spot, I'm going to go with 1993's Both Sides. This is Phil's 5th studio album. I picked this one up pretty soon after I started collecting his albums, and this one just did not click with me. It never really has. Aside from the first song of the album, Both Sides of the Story, which is easily my favorite track on here, the rest of these songs just don't stick with me. I find this album just drags. These songs are not memorable to me, and as much as I want to get into it and like it, this one just has not grown on me over time either. So coming in at the bottom of the pack, I'm going to go with Both Sides from 1993.
'Cause I can't stop loving you. No, I can't stop loving you. No, I won't.
In the number 6 spot, I'm going to go with 2002's Testify. This is Phil's most recent studio album. Generally at the bottom of most lists that I see. Testify, I think, is a decent album. It's not terrible by any means. I wouldn't say that it's top shelf Phil Collins either, but I put this one above Both Sides because I do have a few songs on here that I tend to go to. They would be Wake Up Call, Don't Get Me Started, and Can't Stop Loving You. But I find this to be a more pleasant listen from start to finish than Both Sides. So I'm going to bump this one into the number 6 spot, Testify from 2002. In the number 5 spot, I'm going to go with Phil's debut solo album from 1981, that being Face Value. It's hard to put this in the number 5 spot, but I do think from here on up the catalog is really incredible. This album, I feel like this album really is very atmospheric. These songs seem to have a lot of room to breathe on here. It starts off kind of subtly within the air tonight. As you know, that song does not really hit you over the head right off right off the bat. It just kind of like eases into it, and next thing you know, you're into that killer drum fill in the middle of the song. But some of the songs on here, like This Must Be Love, The Roof Is Leaking, Droned, You Know What I Mean, these are songs that I feel like they just kind of have a lot of space, a lot of room, if that makes sense. Other highlights for me would include I Missed Again, Thunder and Lightning, and I really do like the Genesis cover, Behind the Lines. I think that's a really interesting take on the classic Genesis track. So all in all, fantastic album. Kind of hate to put it in the number 5 spot. I just didn't know which of the other 4 albums I would bump down for it. In the number 4 spot, I'm going to go with 1989's But Seriously. This is Phil's 4th studio album, and seemingly Phil at his most Phil in a way. The ballads on here are memorable. They are thoughtful. They address some pretty heavy topics at times. There are other songs on here that really hit you with the big horn sound and just a big 80s sound. This is a very 80s sounding record, which is not it's not a knock. I love 80s. I love the 80s. Kind of wish I would have lived through them to experience this in real time. But songs like Hanging Long Enough, which I think is a incredible opener. Something Happened on the Way to Heaven, another one of my favorites from this album. Real big catchy chorus. Got the horns all over the place. Great track. Colors, the epic song, it's like 8+ minutes. Kind of starts off slow, but then it really picks up. I Wish It Would Rain Down is great. Another Day in Paradise is great. Really memorable, catchy ballad. Love the little the dum ba dum bum 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 bum. Great stuff. Heat on the Street, Find a Way to My Heart, great closer. If I have any nitpicks with this album, I don't like the way that it's tracked. Going from Hanging Long Enough to That's Just the Way It Is and Do You Remember, so like 2 slow songs right after that. I kind of wish that there would have been another up-tempo track either in the 2 or the 3 spot, but that's a nitpick. Otherwise, this is a fantastic album. But Seriously from Phil Collins is going to come in at the number 4 spot. In the number 3 spot, I'm going to go with Phil's 2nd studio album, Hello, I Must Be Going. This album kicks off with I Don't Care Anymore, which to me was always... I always thought of this and In the Air Tonight as sister songs, and I actually always kind of preferred I Don't Care Anymore. I think it's a really moody track. I love the drums that drive the song as well. Some other songs on here that are highlights for me would be I Cannot Believe It's True, hits you with the horns right off the bat. Like China's really good as well. I do really enjoy the cover song You Can't Hurry Love. I know a lot of people don't seem to like it, but I think it works. I also love the video where Phil's a backup singer for himself. And my cat's trying to knock my phone over. And he jumps away. It Doesn't Matter to Me. That's another great one. I do think this album is fairly front-loaded. I think the weaker tracks are kind of all toward the end of the album, but this is still a really good listen from start to finish. Hello, I Must Be Going from Phil Collins. His 2nd album from 1982 is my 3rd favorite. In the number 2 spot, and here's kind of my upset pick, Dance Into the Light, released in 1996, Phil's 6th studio album. First album he released after leaving Genesis, and I think this album is really incredible, actually. This album is really bright. I love the title track, Dance Into the Light, just a very happy, positive, upbeat tune. Horns hit you right from the get-go. Everything I love about Phil Collins right there. He's some other really catchy tunes on here, like That's What You Said. Lorenzo's really good. Love Police is really good. It's in Your Eyes is great. Take Me Down is a lot of fun. River So Wide is a great deep cut on here. Great drums on that track. No Matter Who. And I do like the Bob Dylan cover at the end. The Times They Are Changing. My nitpick on here, I do think there's some filler tunes. 1 or 2 songs I just can't really get into. Just Another Story. Ought to Know By Now. The Same Moon. Those are the ones that I could probably cut. Especially in favor of a couple of the bonus tracks that are not on my copy but are out there. I Don't Want You to Go and Another Time, I think the other one's called. Both really good songs that I think could have easily been on the album. So, again, that's kind of my little nitpick that keeps Dance Into the Light maybe from being my number 1. But I think this is a really good, really underrated Phil Collins album. My number 2, Dance Into the Light.
Really, would you lose my number? 'Cause you're not anywhere that I can find you. All I've been
And that leaves No Jacket Required to be my number one. This is Phil's third studio album, released in 1985, and a fantastic record in its own right. Kick things off with Sussudio, again, right off the bat with the horns and a really up-tempo, feel-good Phil Collins kind of dance tune. Only You Know and I Know, again, really good, catchy song. Love the drums at the beginning of that. Long, long way to go. I Don't Want to Know. How in the world that was not a hit single is beyond me, because I think it's incredible and probably my third favorite Phil Collins tune of all time. Don't Lose My Number is my favorite Phil Collins tune of all time. That's really the big song that really got me into Phil, hearing that on the radio all the time back years and years ago. Just always really took a liking to that song, and it's still my favorite tune from Phil. Who Said I Would? Another great song. Doesn't Anyone Stay Together Anymore is great. Inside Out's great. Take Me Home's great. I guess my little nitpick with this is, again, I don't really care for the sequencing on here. Having the two ballads, Long Way to Go and One More Night, both on the A side, I would have swapped one of those out for maybe Don't Lose My Number, just to kind of space that out a little bit. But again, that's a nitpick. That's not really like a big important complaint or anything. That's just how I would have done it differently. But this is still a fantastic record filled with great tunes from top to bottom. No Jacket Required. My favorite studio album from Phil Collins. So let me know in the comments below how you would rank Phil's catalog. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future. And I will catch you next time.